Today I'm chatting with Jen Dubois, owner of Organized by Jen D. She's all about helping her clients realize that having organized spaces is a form of self-care. She's a wife and mom of 3 boys, including a set of twins. She's all about beautifying and organizing the homes of her clients. Welcome to the show, Jen.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes, and for those of you that are listening on the podcast, she is wearing the beautiful mustard yellow color that I like to refer to as Pro Organizer Bootcamp color, but of course, I'm sure she's been wearing this much longer than Pro Organizer Bootcamp has been around, but she looks amazing in this color, I might add.
Why, thank you.
So Jen, tell us about yourself and what caused you to get into this crazy field of home organization.
Well, I'm a nurse. Right now, I don't work in the hospital anymore. I work more so as a nursing professor. But when I did work in the hospital, I always found that my colleagues would come to work pretty much stressed out at the top of the shift. And I really went on a journey to try to figure out a way to kind of help them, because I always believe that life's going to be hard. It's going to get heavy, but we have to be intentional about our attitude and the way we care for ourselves. So at first, I embarked on this journey to start a self-care company. I was like, I'm going to start a self-care company to teach others how to care for themselves, because at one point in my life, I lacked self-care. I was just in a cycle of continuously giving to the point of near burnout. And when I started to care for myself, I started to realize the benefits. So I figured I wanted to share that knowledge and experience with others. So I went on this journey to start a self-care company. I thought about candles, I thought about bubble baths, all the typical self-care type things, but none of it really resonated with me. None of it made sense. I was looking to find something that I can help people do that I practice and that was sustainable. I was lost. I had no idea. So I did a brain dump of all the things that I love to do, all the things that people said that I'm good at, all the things that I'm passionate about, all the things. So on a piece of paper, I wrote, taking care of a home, taking care of others, processes, efficiency, all the beautifying things of the home. And it didn't connect. It didn't really make sense. So I kind of tabled it for a bit, and I kind of still was determined to find some sort of a business, but I was kind of lost. I wasn't able to make the connections. I got a phone call from a friend. She had gone to a vision boarding party, and she said that she met this person whose spirit reminded her of me. And she sent me the person's profile. This person was a professional organizer. And I was like, what is this? I was like, okay, yeah. And again, I put it aside. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should look into becoming a professional organizer. Let me see if there's a degree that I can get in professional organizing, right? So I searched the internet, and I found that that same individual was the president of the NAPO chapter in LA. I was like, twice this person came in my awareness. And I was like, interesting. Okay, kind of was not really getting the hint yet. And maybe about a month or so later, I was listening to this podcast I had been listening to for years. That person was a guest on the podcast. So I was like, okay, I get it. I get the hint.
Message received, right?
Message received. I got the hint. So I reached out to her, and she was teaching a class on how to start in all the things as it relates to starting a business, in professional organizing, and then COVID happened. Class got canceled, but we did pick up on a one-on-one type of a relationship, and she was able to coach me for the first few months of my business, and it really helped me lay the foundation for my business. So that's kind of how I got messages 3 times. I paid attention, and then I decided to start my business. It's a long story, but that's how it happened.
Yes, it's like the rule of 3, right? And I've found that so much in my own life and in my own business. Like, you kind of hear, I call them whispers from the universe. They're kind of like these little nudges, little niggles, little background noise. And then all of a sudden it kind of keeps surfacing up and up and up into your higher conscious, into your awareness. And you're like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. And I really enjoyed hearing that self-care is the basis and foundation of what you do, because that is so huge, I think, for your clients to be able to make those lifestyle changes and those habit shifts. Because again, anybody can come in and just put pretty things into pretty boxes and call it a day and take some photos and leave the house for the day. But until that person has realized this is something that I need to do for myself to continue on as a habit shift.
For sure, for sure. I think it's absolutely essential. And like I said, in the beginning, I didn't really make the connection that I was intentionally practicing self-care by ensuring that my home atmosphere was beautiful and organized, and it kind of recharged me. I didn't make the connection then, but like when I did a deep dive to think about why is it, because I'm a resilient person. I try to be very optimistic. So I have this, there was this meme that I saw once. I was like, that is me, that is me. This person in the meme, this person walks up to this other person and said, you're always so optimistic. It's like you walk around with rose-colored glasses all the time. And then the person gets off of their unicorn, that's the joke, and says, you know, whatever, finish the sentence. But the joke is, people always think that I am very optimistic, very resilient. And it's not that I don't have pain. It's not that I'm not burdened by all the things that other people are burdened with. It's not that I have a perfect marriage or a perfect family or a perfect life. It's just an intentional choice, because I know that I know what it does for my mindset. And with that, it even goes beyond my mindset. I'm very intentional about the things that I invite into my home, the things that I use to decorate my home, because I know that my home has to be the place within this big world that I can go to retreat and to recharge and to feel safe.
Yes, 1,000%. I do firmly believe that everything you just said, as far as our homes being our sanctuaries, our nests, are not only our shelter from the outside world, but our, you know, sometimes escape from the outside world. We don't want to come home and have our insides be just as stressful as the outside world has been all day, at work, at school, with our kids, out in the community, at church, wherever we are. So what a cool energy to bring into your clients' spaces. That being said, what are your favorite areas of a home to organize?
So I really love the entire home, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel like the transformation is complete. You know, so one of the things you'll know about me, I like really corny analogies and corny jokes, right? I just love, you remember Mary Poppins?
Yes, yes.
She'd go into the home and she'd get the kids all together and then she'd fly away on her umbrella.
Yeah.
I like that feeling of looking back and I was like, yeah, I made a difference. I was able to transform the entire home, right? That's absolutely, if I can transform someone's entire home, that's my absolute favorite thing to do. And I've had multiple opportunities to do that. But if I were to pick the one space within the home that I like to organize the most, I would say it's the closet.
I was looking at your website before we hopped on today, and your own closet is so gorgeous. You've been featured in a few different nationally published magazines and articles, which we'll get to here in a second, but I love your closet. Tell us about your own closet and, you know, how you organize it.
Well, so my closet, I wouldn't say that I'm a minimalist, but I am an essentialist. So I'm very intentional to have less but better type items in my closet. I do have things from Target and things, but I try to stay away from fast fashion because I feel like, one, obviously it's not serving the earth in the right way. And then two, I like to feel good in the things that I wear. And I don't need to have an abundance of things, just essentials. So first of all, my closet has only the things that I love and the things that I use.
Okay, that's like 3 different quote cards right there. Not a minimalist, but an essentialist. Less but better. And then also what I pulled out of that is basically the idea of quality over quantity. I love it. Okay, continue.
For sure, for sure. And then again, also going back to having a home that supports all the good fields. I love when I go to Anthropologie. That's my absolute favorite store to go to. I don't necessarily have to purchase anything. I just like the way things are displayed. It just feels warm and cozy to me. So I wanted to bring that vibe into my closet. So that's what, go ahead.
Yeah, it's so gorgeous just being able to see it and being able to walk in there. And like you said, you almost created like a little store within your own closet, because who
Yeah.
doesn't want to shop their own closet in the morning? You know, you want to be able to go in and feel like you're in a nice little boutique and you're not just like sorting through dirty clothes on the floor or
Exactly. And then the things are arranged nicely and the hangers aren't mangled. Everything's kind of, nicely arranged by category. I do organize by category and by color because it's easier for me to find the things, when I need them. But yeah, I just like the ease. When you go into the store, you have your Starbucks in hand and you're just casually browsing through, making a selection, right? That's what I tried to recreate in my closet.
Yes, and in the clients and in your clients' closets, I'm sure, when you get the opportunity to do closets. So
Yeah.
you have been in business, I understand, about 2.5 years, going on 3 here, and you have over 20 5-star reviews already, which is awesome, across the web on different platforms. What has your success path looked like in actually getting your clients to take the time to leave a review? Because I know a lot of our members in the Pro Organizer Bootcamp community have some trouble. They're saying, I'm writing thank you cards and I'm asking for reviews, I'm texting them, I'm emailing them, I'm following up, da, da, da. I mean, obviously you can lead the horse to water, you can't make them drink, but how are you getting such awesome reviews?
Well, it starts by first delivering good service, which, any member of Pro Organizing Bootcamp, I'm pretty certain they're very intentional about their business. So that's where it kind of starts. And the second thing I try to do is make it easy for my clients to leave a review. So I use a CRM called Dubsado. I don't know if you've heard about Dubsado. And in my offboarding, I have some question prompts. And then I have a link to Yelp, Google, and Facebook. And I even tell them they can write the review once and copy and paste it to multiple platforms. So that's
Awesome.
one thing that I do. Another thing that I do is say it's been a while and I didn't receive a review. I kind of capture some things that the client might have said to me in our experience together, and I would summarize it. And I would say, hey, these are some things that you shared with me. Does this look accurate? You might want to consider using this as a foundation for your review, some things like that. The whole idea is to make it easy for them because, clients most likely, I mean, every person is different, but they will love your work, but it's a burden to then sit down and ask them to write a paragraph reflecting how they felt about your service. So I think the key is to make it easy, as easy as possible.
For sure. Let it be easy. And I think, like you said, not everyone is a copywriter. Not everyone is a wordsmith. Not everyone's an author. Sometimes, sure, they have every intention of writing you a review, but they don't know what to say. They're like at a loss for words. They're like, I don't know, like, she was great. Obviously they're not going to write that. But sometimes people get kind of like that brain fog or that brain fart or whatever you want to call it. So I love the idea of, like you said, you're using their own words, but just kind of stringing them together in that way, as a follow-up. That's the other part of what you said, is follow-up is key. You can't just text somebody once and expect that, they're busy moms, busy wives, busy executives. They're already probably somewhat disorganized as people as it is. They're probably not taking the time to like sit down and carve out the 15 minutes or 5 minutes it takes to do it. So follow-up is always key, just like it is in lead generation, right? Following up with your leads, making sure you sign those clients, super key. Love it. Okay, so along with having all of these amazing reviews, you've also been featured in some amazing publications. Tell us about the publications you've been featured in. Give yourself a little I don't know, toot of your own horn here, Jen, and then tell us how you did it. How'd you get featured?
Well, I think the biggest one was Apartment Therapy. When they reached out to me, I was like blown. So Apartment Therapy, Good Housekeeping, San Diego Magazine here locally, San Diego Voyager, Bustle, Spruce, like a ton. Also going to be in Shira Gill's book. I don't know if The Minimalista, she's writing a second book. So with the magazines, I think, I don't know exactly, I didn't do anything intentional, but I do share a lot of tips. And when they reach out to me, they're always asking for tips. So I'm thinking that might have been the draw. With Shira, she share on her Instagram that she was writing a book, and I did reach out to Shira, but everybody else, it just kind of happened. And I think it might be because I share tips. Honestly, there's no big secret.
You're providing value, like duh, hello. Yeah. And I think that's what sometimes people forget is we get so caught up in our business is our baby. Our business is something that we've built and we're so proud and we have pride and we're, just trying to build this thing from the ground up and get our shovels in the dirt and da da da. And so we can get really wrapped up in like, well, I'm working so hard. And it's like, okay, but are you providing value at the end of that? Are you giving free resources? Do you have something like Dubsado or MailChimp or Honeybook or whatever automations you have set up that's keeping in touch with people, giving them freebies, giving them checklists, giving them guides, giving them ebooks? You have all this knowledge in your head. And if you're not sharing that with anybody, how do you expect for them to continue to book you, hire you, and then get press from it too, right?
Exactly. And I want to also share that sometimes I hear people are concerned that they're giving away their secrets. And I guarantee you, the person that's going to hire you isn't going to, there's no way for them to arrange all of the tips to then move forward and organize an entire space on their own. If they could, they would not be hiring you in the first place. So I think it's to be generous and have a mindset of abundance, I think. And that's very attractive, I think, for people. People kind of, they see that you're generous and it's a very attractive quality. And then they want to reach out with you and collaborate with you and work with you. And I think that's been, going forward, I'm going to ask specifically why they reached out. But I believe that's just what it was. They see that spirit of generosity and then they're drawn to that because they then want you to be generous with their readership, their subscribers. So I think that's key.
And it's energy. Like you said, it all comes down to energy. It's attraction marketing. You're not intentionally going out like, today I'm going to get featured in Good Housekeeping, or today I'm going to get featured in Apartment Therapy. But guess what? All of that energy that you're putting out into the world, into your audience, into your clients' work, I can tell by the way you speak about your clients and your mission of self-care, like you are a giver, right? You're trying to make an impact in your local community, wherever and whenever you can. And people are going to see that. And the universe is going to keep track of that. And it's going to keep score, and it's going to give, call it karma, call it whatever you want. But yes, I love that you're giving value. And one thing there too, people do have every intention of DIY, right? That's why I can guarantee anybody listening to this has found books on organization and decluttering in their clients' homes, if not every client.
Absolutely. About 80% of the clients. Yes.
Yes.
And organizers, suppliers, and label makers, and all the things. Yes, absolutely.
Because they have every intention of being that perfectly poised, organized person that really has it together, that go-getter gal or guy or whoever. And maybe they have planners, they have bullet journals, they've bought all the things, the calendars, the whiteboards, the dry erase markers, all the things, right? Have they ever used them? No. Did they use them for maybe like a week during a New Year's resolution cycle? Probably, but it failed after that. That's why they're hiring you. So like you said, you're never going to give away all your secrets.
Never.
Yeah, it always cracks me up. I call those landmines. Like when you're in someone's house, I always like yell at the client. I'm like, I found a landmine. Look, you have an intention.
Well, how about I have certain clients where I then have to create a storage bin for organizing supplies because they have so many random things that now there's a storage bin for organizing supplies. But yeah, I think just be generous and know what's yours is yours. Show up, be vulnerable, speak to your client, that one person, speak to that person, and just give, because the service that we offer is so intimate, right? They show us spaces and places that they don't show the rest of the world, right? So they want to be able to know that they can trust you, you're generous, you're a person that they can connect with. So for sure.
And I love what you said there with what's yours is yours. I think that's another, you're just full of quote cards today, Jen. What's yours is yours, because I'm sure we've all heard this quote, what's meant for you cannot pass you, right? You are meant to serve those clients that you're serving. You are meant to serve and help and walk into every single home of each client that has come across your plate. Whether they book you, whether they sign you, whether they rebook you, whether you end up doing their whole house, that's another story. But you are meant to make an impact to every single person that's coming into your pipeline right now, period, the end. So just give. I love what you said there. Yay. So, okay, I feel like you've given like 10,000 advice pieces to newbie organizers who are maybe just starting out and listening to this, but do you have anything else, any other advice that you'd like to give to organizers just starting out in their organizing journey?
Put on your blinders and go. Just go. What's the worst that can happen? You can win or you can learn. You're not going to fail, right? I mean, you'll fail if you give up, but put on your blinders and go. I know sometimes you look at other organizers and other businesses and you can sort of compare your journey to theirs, but you have to realize you're comparing your personal struggle to their public persona, right? So you just dig deep, find out who you are, find out the type of business you want to have. If you want to do something totally different as it relates to organizing, just go in a different niche, whatever you feel like you need to do, put on your blinders and go. Get support, get good coaches, get aligned with people who've done it before. But in terms of you establishing the core culture of your business, do you, boo?
Yes. You can win or you can learn. Highlighted quote card there again. There's no such thing as failure, right? You guys have probably all heard this, or you've maybe heard everything happens for a reason, right? I firmly believe this. Being an organizer for over 10 years now, entrepreneurship has been the best therapist, the best life coach, the best kick in the butt, the best drill instructor. You will learn more than you will ever read in a textbook or in a college class or whatever by getting your feet wet, by doing the thing. There's no failures. You can win or you can learn.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Love it. Love it so much. Okay. Where can our audience find you to like get all of this inspiration? Because I feel like you've been such a light and such a joy to talk to today, Jen. Where can people hit you up, find you, DM you, all the things?
Well, first of all, Melissa, I feel like you've been a joy. I remember reaching out to you. It was over a year ago, right? I reached out to you. Oh my God. It was so great. I loved your attitude. I love that you cuss a little bit.
You know it. I can't stop.
I love that you live in San Diego. So first of all, I think that you're amazing and you're so generous with your knowledge and experience too. So just thank you. Where you'll find me. So I'm based out of Chula Vista, California, which is a part of San Diego County. On Instagram and Facebook at Organized by Jen D. And my website is organizedbygend.com.
Yes, and she has amazing photography on her website. If y'all don't have professional headshots yet or professional home style shoots yet, don't worry too much about it if you're just getting started, but holy cow, your website is gold. So definitely go check out organizedbygend.com. Thank you again for being here today. I can't wait to see what you do next, Jen.
Thank you, and I can't wait to work with you. And I'm a part of the group, so if you're listening and you're part of Pro Organizers Bootcamp, give me a shout out. I'm excited.
Love it. Okay, thank you so much.